Alright guys, we're going to take a look at the first game here. Opening hand may seem a little deceptive at first. It is pretty good because we do have 2 lands available to us. The one thing you need to keep in mind is the fact that we get these Utopia Sprawls, and they allow you the opportunity to make these early plays in your 2 colors. So they really are going to be essential in order to get around our 3 color barrier. We're going to be able to start off on turn 1 and be able to get that Utopia Sprawl down, choosing blue so that we can play our Reality Acid on turn 2. Great to get the acceleration and the color fixing all in one. So my opponent was playing, I believe this is the Stinkweed Zombies deck, the one that is very heavy on the creature base, runs a lot of little things that can be cycled and unearthed, focuses a lot on the discard, and then has Cryo Contrition and a very small non-creature base. But we're going to start off here. This is going to prove to be a bit of a problem here. Carrion Feeder allows you to sacrifice a creature to put a +1/+1 counter. So what that's going to allow him to do is give him some great opportunities to sacrifice a creature in response to Reality Acid. So what I wanted to do, instead of targeting down this creature that he could simply sacrifice off, is to target down the swamp and his land base instead. Now one thing you will notice, it's kind of a double-edged sword. When he sacrifices the creature you're trying to target is dying anyways. However, you are losing the Reality Acid, and the thing you have to keep in mind is the deck is only running 4 Reality Acids, so you only have 4 opportunities to get that into play. And the deck really revolves around opportunities using the Familiars, the Blinks, as well as, the Skyfishers and stuff like that, in order to return the Reality Acid and stretch that out to a lot more copies. It turned out to be actually a really good play in my favor here because of the fact that it seems he only had a single land in the opening hand, and I can understand it. I think with that particular deck and an opening hand that had both Carrion Feeder as well as Fume Spitter, I would probably do the same. Unfortunately for him, I do have opportunities here on the Familiar to return that Reality Acid and going to put him behind on lands. Abundant Growth is also going to help us refill our hand, as well as give us this white mana available for the momentary blink so we can reuse that Reality Acid later on. Getting the Visionary in place so we can start filling our hand back up. He does choose to use the Fume Spitter there, probably a good move to get rid of the Familiar. Unfortunately for him, when I did play that Visionary, I did draw into the Stalker, which gave me a new option in order to return my Reality Acid. Keep in mind, as always, if you're going to make both plays at the same time, Reality Acid is costing you 3, and Stalker or Skyfisher or Blink is going to cost you an additional 2, so you need a total of 5 to be able to play not only the Reality Acid, but also return it to your hand in the same turn. Going to play again on the Swamp, trying to slow down his mana base as much as possible while building up my own. Unfortunately for me, even though he did start with that that 1 land hand, he is able to make drops to 3. Still a bit behind because it is turn 5 and he is just getting that 3rd land in play, but it's not so bad. Dreamstalker will come down and going to return that Reality Acid and put him back at 1. Playing smart here in response, he is going to cycle off a Dragger, which is a great card. I love that. I think it really could find a home. 2 land here available to us, going to take at least the opportunity to put the Sprawl out, and this will give us a chance to blink the Stalker. Against black, you have options. They will be running, most mono black controls will be running decks that are heavier on the non-creature base and heavier on the creature kill. Unfortunately for him, it's not your typical. This is, like I said, the Stinkweed Zombies deck. The cards that it runs that are non-creature, as few as they are, include things like Duress and Cry of Contrition and not creature kill. It looks to use a lot of its creature base, its unearth, its discard to really control the board state. So Duress comes out. He is rightfully going to choose that Reality Acid. Puts me a little bit of a bad position, but I do have the Aura Gnarlid, which is a great thing to have. It works as a really great backup plan for this deck, which really focuses on the Reality Acids, but if you can't get that going, if you find yourself in a situation like I am currently, where I can't get the Reality Acid combination moving, then I do have a big creature that is going to cause a lot of trouble thanks to all of these land enchants. So swinging through for what little damage I can. Still hitting his land drops, he's going to finally get to Stinkweed Imp on 3 lands. This is going to be a bit of a problem because of the fact that it does have this dredge ability, and it does have that ability to kill things upon touch. I have some options to, blink in response to him blocking to keep my creature from dying, It's not a great position here because, I attack with the Stalker. He can just block and kill the Stalker. He would let through 5 damage on the Gnarlid. Maybe a smarter move for him would probably be to block the Gnarlid. It really just makes attacking dicey when you get that basically Death Touch ability out there. So I decided to play a Muldrifter, looking for another Reality Acid or some way to get it off the board. Unfortunately, it didn't come, so I figured I would at least take a chance and attack through, hoping to, at the very least, to get this Stinkweed Imp off the board for a turn or so. My only hope, I think, at this point in time was to get a lot of creatures going and be able to at least attack beyond the Stinkweed Imp. So his turn, he is playing a Rotting Rat. It's going to force us both to discard. I have a lot of great options here for discard because the Visionary is going to help us draw. And we have 2 Blinks which both have flashback, so I'm not going to be hurting too bad from this. I do decide, as you see, to get rid of one of my Blinks. I have that ability. It's going to cost us even more. Keep in mind, again, if you're using Reality Acid, 3 mana there, plus 4 on the flashback for the Blink. That is going to require 7 mana. Just keeping it all in mind. It does, I guess, require a little bit of math on this, but... So Reality Acid's coming out, and like I said, I did want to target down Stinkweed Imp, and I do have plenty of mana available to both play that and throw down my Skyfisher and activate its ability to return the Reality Acid and kill off that Stinkweed Imp. He does have, you see, another one in his graveyard that he discarded. And with that Dredge ability, he's going to have a lot of opportunity to bring it back and cause me more trouble later on. But I want to get through as much damage as I can, and at the very least, getting that off the board for the attack phase is going to be helpful for me to get damage through. I do have options now for 2 more Blinks here, plus 1 in my graveyard on this Reality Acid, so I can keep getting that Stinkweed Imp off the board and attacking through for some damage. At this point in time, he's down to 7, so as much damage as I can get through as possible is going to be great. I will take opportunities to, even throw away a creature if I think I can do significant damage. So down comes a Stinkweed Imp once again, also plays a Dregscape Zombie. Something I'm not too worried about. I do have a lot of evasion here that can get over those things if I can just once again get off that Stinkweed Imp. So going to play the Reality Acid, and because the Momentary Blink is only 2, I can get away with the 5 cost. Unfortunately, you see I will have to blink the Skyfisher, so I would not be able to attack through with it. He'd only be taking 2, going down to 5 on this turn, but I'm guessing he felt that he had no other options here, no cards in hand, so he's going to just concede out.